Tomorrow, voters across the metro area will begin to cast their ballots for the May 3rd election. Early voting set to begin. Over in Jefferson Parish, residents are being asked to renew 3 separate millages, one for the parish's libraries, one for drainage, the other for recreation. Here now to discuss what each one of these means for Jefferson Parish is Jefferson Parish President Cynthia Lee Sheng. Good morning to you, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Happy Easter. Happy to have you here.
Yes.
So 3 millages proposed here. These are renewals.
These are renewals at the previously authorized rate, so everyone is used to paying these millages. Yes.
And looking at them, particularly drainage, recreation, libraries, this money does compensate for a lot of the budget for these various departments. For drainage, 45%, recreation and libraries, 90% of the budget.
Absolutely. So if they weren't to pass, it would really greatly affect and really hinder the services we're able to provide. But as you said, almost half of the drainage budget. And the good thing about these millages are services that people are used to seeing and used to using a lot, especially with our recreation and our library millage. You know, so we have a lot of facilities.
Sure thing. And so let's just take a couple seconds to talk about each specifically. So drainage, what does that millage cover?
So it covers the, half of the drainage system that you see, which could be everything from the pipes under your street to levees and safe houses and those kinds of things. So we know drainage is a critical. People understand drainage in our community more than other areas in the country, right? Because every time it rains, we wonder how well the drainage system is going to hold up. So very, very important, one of our most important pieces of public works that we have in Jefferson Parish.
And there's already work underway to upgrade the system over there in the East Bank. That was underway after the pipe rupture.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we have a major infrastructure. Post-Katrina we do, but we're always bringing in infrastructure for drainage, yes.
The recreation and the library millage, how would they work?
Right. So look, for recreation and library, they represent over 90% of those millages. Recreation facilities are all across the parish, 27 facilities, playgrounds that we have. And we're really, in the past couple of years, we had something called Recreation Reimagine, is really introducing new sports. In a couple, very soon, we're about to open a big pickleball complex. It's going to be one of the largest in the region, which I'm really excited about. But all kind of new sports and activities for seniors to all ages. And then, very familiar with the library. We have 16 branches throughout the parish. Again, not just the books, but in the digital content, but we're doing things like experience passes and library of things, and we're about to open a maker space. So really trying to push the envelope on the services, new services that we bring to our citizens.
Yeah, lots of parks, lots of activities for families in JP, and that's where that money goes to. It comes at a time where, people feel economic hardship with the tariffs and what's going on there. What's your response to the argument that I just can't do this economically right now?
Well, I mean, this is not something new. These are taxes that we have paid for. We are used to paying for quite a long time. We have to go out every 10 years for this funding source. And this is the main funding source for programs that are really, kind of the basis of our community. If you think of drainage, they're probably where we live in a bowl, this is very critical. It protects your property value and it protects the value in this community. So these are very critical millages, and we go out early in the event that, something does happen for planning purposes. But I think, we hope that everybody realizes and can see the services that they provide. And a lot of our people use our services, so they see their taxpayer dollars at work.
Most definitely, ma'am. There was a renewal for a millage in the on the West Bank, West Jefferson, for the levy district there in March. It failed. December, there was a teacher pay raise. It failed. How do you hope that this will be different this time around?
Well, look, we try to get out in the community. We have signs up that a lot of people have seen. We've gone to all these civic associations, and really it's about education and getting out there. And sometimes you can't start. You only have a few. We only have a few weeks to campaign because there was just an election, so we didn't want to go out before that and confuse the voters, right? What election are we talking about? So really, it's just a campaign of like, these are services that you need, these are services that the community needs. You see these services at work, and we really spend your taxpayer dollars well, and that's very critical that people understand just how much their dollar gets for them.
And with the big detail being here that these are millage renewals and nothing new on the table.
Yes, we're already paying these. Yes.
All right. Well, ma'am, thank you so much for your time
Thank
this
you.
morning. Happy Easter to you and your family.
Yes, thank you. You as well.
With that, those millage renewals, they're not the only thing on the ballot for some Jefferson Parish residents. There's a runoff for a council seat there in the District 1 seat between Tim Kerner Jr. and Andrea Manuel. Early voting does begin tomorrow. It's going to run every day next week except for the Easter holiday. Voting takes place from 8:30 in the morning until 6 at your parish's registrar of voters office. Got a link where you can find a sample ballot. Also, get an answer as to where you can vote. That's at WWLTV.com.